results will be fully looked over by my supervisor, and you'll get a diagnosis from them afterwards. But it's important for me that I conduct these tests by myself. I've done a lot of tests with my supervisor in the room with me, guiding, showing me. But recently I've been doing the tests on my own, so thank you very much for letting me do your tests today. I very much appreciate the practice. And do not worry, your results will be completely checked and validated by my supervisor so that you get an accurate diagnosis. here's the next one. How many shapes do you see on this plate? Now there could be a total of 4. There are 4 quadrants. You see 2 shapes, very good. And what shapes do you see? An X and a triangle, perfect. Okay, where's the X? Here, very good. And where's the triangle? Here. one. Very good. And then the closest to this desk. You're thinking this one? Put that there and see how it looks. Very good. This one here. Right. Slide that into place. Next. You want to try this? Let's try that one right here. Okay. And then this, yeah, it's simultaneously getting easier and harder. Can relate to that. Here, okay. Only 3 more. I'd like to try that one. And then the one on the left. And then the final one here. Alright, so here's the order that you selected. I'll give you a look at this, and you can let me know if there are any changes you want to do before submitting your answer. Alright, so if that is all set, we can put the bubble wrap back in here. Close this up. And what I'm going to do is flip it over. And it will actually have the numbers on the bottom of the answers you had. So if you'd